Good morning and welcome to the show, and thanks for waking up with us today. Today we're waking up here at Marine Max, and I'm here with Eric Davis. And Eric, this is just an awesome boat. What are we standing on? What is this thing?
This is a Grady White 225 Freedom. It's a dual console boat, and it's one of our most popular boats that we sell.
Yeah, and I notice is it really a fishing boat? Is it a family boat? What is this for?
It's all of the above. It really is. It's a perfect compromise between the family fun boat as well as a nice hardcore fishing machine.
Now I notice you've got some really interesting features here. Sure. What's this deal all about?
Well, this is a ski pylon. On this ski pylon you can pull tubers, skiers, anything along the lines. A lot of fun for the family, drag the kids behind, and or whatever you'd like to do with it. It's removable, and then you can get to serious fishing.
I notice you got a big old 300 Yamaha engine on the back there.
That's right.
And which I understand is pretty much the standard or the top standard for the industry, isn't it?
Well, it is. And the 300 horsepower motor, what even makes this boat even nicer is that it has a digital throttle and shift configuration on it. And that enables a computer to tell you precisely how much fuel you're burning, how much fuel you have, really monitor that engine just like your car.
Maybe we can take a look at some of those features, but hey, what's this feature here? What is this thing? What is this all about?
This is the Admiral Circle. Yeah, the Admiral Circle is an award that Grady White gives out to their top dealers that perform a level of customer service and sales excellence and achieve certain sales numbers within their goals and expectations.
So basically, Marine Max here on Panama City Beach is the place to buy a Grady White.
If you want one, we're definitely...
This is the place to go.
You got it.
Let's take a look at that console. I'm really interested in that. Besides that cool feature.
Sure.
Does that come with the boat? No,
yeah, we can get you a picture of that.
All right, now what are we looking at over here now?
Well, the helm is really nice and laid out and simple. You've got your electronic space here that you can put virtually any size of radar, GPS, fish finder, that type of device here. And as well as your engine monitoring system we spoke about earlier is right here, along with a stereo. And this is a remote control for the stereo that allows the captain to manipulate the different songs and input, as well as the head unit over here for your passengers, and they can utilize that. Music's very important to fish.
Of course it is. Yeah, that draws the fish in, I understand.
That's right, absolutely.
And then you've got this bow area up front here where, you know, the wife, the kids, the family, the friends can kind of lounge and have a drink while you're tending to business in the back here.
That's right, that's right. So it's the best of both worlds. And then right behind you, a really nice feature, there's a large bathroom.
Wow.
Ahead, what we call a head. And the head compartment, nice, comfortable. It could even be a clothes changing area if you needed that. Again, this is the boat that's kind of like an SUV. It does it all.
Yeah, it is. It's all, like an RV on the water.
There you go.
You got everything going on here, and this head is just awesome. It's even got a little mirror and stuff in there, isn't it? So,
right.
Gee whiz, that's good for the family, I think. You know, a little degree of privacy and all that stuff.
Well, it can be the difference of being on the water for a few hours or being on the water all day.
That's right. That's right. And and you've got some great storage areas here too. The speakers up front, and I guess the speakers in the back too.
That's
so
right.
You've got this really great experience out on the water.
Sure, it's terrific.
Now, what makes the Grady White such a premium brand? What makes them different from the other boats and maybe that have similar?
Well, Grady White has an unbelievable attention to detail. Every nut, bolt, the stainless they use, to the gel coat that goes into the construction. And a lot of the boats, it's really what you can't see. It's not the most obvious things that really make it an excellent boat. But one ride, and it all comes together, and you'll realize how terrific
Well,
they
I got
are.
to tell you, just not that I have a lot of experience with boats, but just looking at, say, a car, for instance, you look at the fit and finish of the little details, and everything just matches up perfectly. It just looked like there was a lot of care and attention in putting this premium boat together.
There really is.
In the last minute that we have left here, what's your favorite feature on this boat? What do you like best about a Grady White?
Well, the ride is by far superior to any of the other boats that I've been on. And I've been selling boats for quite some time.
A little smoother ride, perhaps?
Absolutely smoother ride. Dry, smooth, very comfortable. And on this particular boat, a nice big fish box and a terrific live well.
Yeah.
That package is perfect.
Now, if somebody was interested in looking at this Grady White, or perhaps even buying it, what can they do?
Well, they can just call Marine Max here. They can call us directly.
Ask for Eric Davis.
Ask for Eric Davis, that's right. And we'll get them down, show them the boat, and gosh, we need to get it on the water, and they can take the wind and the weather right now. We can certainly make that happen for them.
Eric, thanks so much for showing us this beautiful boat, and we'll be right back after you're Waking Up with Don weather. Welcome back to the show. I have Denise Clubs here in the studio with me. She is a licensed family and marriage therapist. Did I say that right?
That's okay. That is fine.
Marriage and family or family and
marriage?
Marriage and family therapist.
Yes.
Now, you know, Denise, we've had you on the show before, and we
Yes.
talked about New Year's resolutions and the holiday doldrums and all that.
Right.
You know, how do you, besides buying a really cool boat from Marine Max, what can you do to keep yourself happy? Do things make you happy?
Well, that's a very good question. I think a lot of people have learned a pairing of, you know, when you purchase something, you can get that instantaneous kind of satisfaction.
There is a little afterglow when it comes to buying a big expensive toy.
Oh, well, I think that it's longer than an afterglow. I mean, you're really enjoying it. You're out there. You know, it's helping, like particularly with a boat, you can relax. You have a lot of family time, a lot of fun with friends. But in essence, purchasing things is not necessarily the best way to go, and just being aware of that.
And you know, the fun of, say, having a boat or an RV or something like that is the people that you can put on it is really what the fun is.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, who goes boating by themselves?
The fellowship, the friends, and we are created by our Creator for fellowship.
So it's really about human interactions.
It is.
And in the final equation, it's how many people show up at your funeral, I suppose. Is that the measure of success, of happiness? I wonder. How do you measure happiness? Is there a measurement for it? I mean, as a therapist, can you look at somebody, ask them a few questions, say, yep, clinically unhappy? Or
well, there are some clinical diagnostic tools that we can utilize in finding out whether one is having series of depression, anxiety, those type of things. But in essence, recognizing happiness, I think you kind of look at the person's affect. Of course, that's not the main thing. I mean, you look at it, but also some people can cover that up pretty well. And you really don't know what somebody's feeling, you know, underneath.
That's true, like Pagliacci, the tears of a clown, all that stuff.
Yes.
You just never really know.
No.
But outside things and outside people, can they really make you happy, or is that something that comes from within?
I believe that comes from within. I really
It's all
do.
about your attitude. You're going in position to any situation.
Right, right. I will tell you, a lot of times some of the things that I work with from a therapeutic standpoint are looking at the belief system of an individual. The belief system from the standpoint of if they're grown up with saying you can't do anything, you're never going to amount to anything, just a lot of negative statements, that really can affect someone's overall attitude and mood, and it can be from a subconscious level and somebody not know it.
So I guess during those formative years as a youngster, if you're in a positive, nurturing environment, you've got a better chance of being a happier adult, I suppose, than someone who is brought up in maybe a critical environment or one that's not necessarily supportive or happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then, you know, the thing about that is, that kind of troubles me, and you see it whenever you pick up the newspaper or turn on the news and there's a crime, it's sort of generational. I mean, if your parents are criminals, you got a good chance of growing up to be a criminal.
Well, in our field, we look at it nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
Okay, and from that standpoint, there's a lot of research out, and I don't know that the verdict is finally in on that, because I see it. I can see both playing very important factors: the nature versus what is internally genetics, biological, and also the nurture, which is the learned response.
You know, I went and saw this movie Unbroken recently, and you hear these stories of people who've been through these horrible experiences. I mean, what's worse than being a prisoner of war in Japan during World War II and coming out on the other side of that whole positive and constructive with your life? I mean, some people are just super resilient. We've got to run off to a break, but on the other side of that, I want to talk a little bit more about resiliency and staying happy under adverse circumstances.
Okay.
You're watching Waking Up with Don. I'm speaking with Denise Clubs, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Denise Clubs, who is a licensed marriage and family therapist, and we're talking about what makes people happy. You know, before the break, we talked about this movie that I saw, Unbroken. Now, here's a guy who went through literally hell on earth as a captive of the Japanese in World War II, and he came out on the other side just great. Are there people out there who can go through really desperate circumstances and come out great? And are there people out there that any little variation in their routine, they'll go to pieces?
I think that there's a combination of what the learned response was growing up, what was being taught to them, what they were perceiving as well, because you can be taught certain things and get a totally different perception. The other part is the environment, and it went right out of my head.
See, your right side is taking over for the left side. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Now, there are some therapies that you can use
Yes.
to help people have a better outlook on things.
Yes.
I mean, because life is nothing but a series of challenges.
Exactly.
And it's how you meet those challenges that really counts.
Right, right. Let me share one of those therapeutic techniques that we have found very, very successful is what's known as EMDR. Now, EMDR is a mouthful. It stands for eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing. And every night we are dreaming, and we may not be remembering our dreams, but we are going through a cycle. There's 5 stages of sleep, and the 5th stage is the REM stage.
Right, rapid eye movement.
Right, and that the EMDR mimics the rapid eye movement for getting both sides of the brain, left side and right side. And our body is replaying the events of the day. If there's something that's really traumatic or something that is being held in the brain, we can mimic the EMDR and look at what the belief system is, what the feelings are, and unlock it mimicking eye movement.
Is that on a conscious level or a subconscious level? Do you hypnotize people? I mean, how does this therapy work?
It is not hypnosis. It is it's conscious. An individual's brain they're the ones in control, and you actually would do what's known as a setup and talk about what's the memory that has the most intense thought and feeling. You try to adapt and attach to it what is the thinking or the belief system, which is usually of a negative nature. You identify that, and then you turn and say, what would you like to think about this? And kind of help the client look at, well, what are some flip ways of looking at it? And then you mimic eye movement.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
And the actual physical eye movement helps rewire you and rewire
exactly.
your responses to certain situations, which could result in maybe a better attitude, a happier life, or a little more resiliency, which I've talked about quite a bit on this show when it comes to resiliency.
Right.
You're just like that fella who was in that movie who was a captive in World War II. I've never heard of a more resilient person.
Right.
You know, people go through all kinds of crazy stuff and they come out okay.
They do.
Some people have a little curve ball thrown to them and they fly to pieces.
Right.
But if you're one of those people who flies to pieces, you can become more resilient. That's not your fate, is it?
Oh, no, it is not your fate at all. You can take that into your own hands and look at, there's opportunities out there and options for you.
Yeah, so,
so it's not.
So if you're stranded on a desert island, you know, naked and afraid or whatever, I mean, if you go in with a great attitude, your chances of survival are probably better than someone's like, oh my God, I'm going to starve to death out here and I'll wind up resorting to cannibalism or whatever, who knows?
Right, right.
So you can rewire yourself. Your brain is plastic and those patterns of behavior are not set for life.
They don't have to be. They don't have to be. It's a matter of whether the person chooses to. And they may not know that they can do something different about it.
Denise, if somebody's watching this now and they want to get in touch with you and say, hey, rewire me, doc, how do they do that? How do we get in touch with you?
I'm under the heading of the Cornerstone. It's 769-6188. And our office is, we have several therapists there. We all are individual private practitioners, and they are welcome to call. We match in terms of the specialties as well as what insurance will cover with what therapists, because we're all differently licensed.
So there's really no excuse for people going through life unhappy.
Right. There are there's plenty of therapists.
Denise Clubbs, licensed marriage and family therapist. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jay with Gears Transmissions. We're so glad to be a part of the Waking Up with Don show. The purpose of this break is several-fold. Of course, it's to get you familiar with what we do here at Gears and the services that we offer. But the main thing is we want you to not have catastrophic failure and your car wind up dead. So over the next several months, 5 times a week, we're going to come into your home and try to help you understand what you can do to make the life of your car extend a little bit. Today I want to talk to you about an older vehicle. Nowadays, with the way the economy is, folks are keeping their vehicles a lot longer. So therefore, they're spending a lot more money in the repair and service industry of their automobiles. I know that when I was 17 or 18 years old, I could jump out of bed and run and gun. Now that I'm 49, I have to sit on the edge of the bed, wait for my coffee, and pray that I can waddle to the bathroom before I get started. So it takes a little more preventive maintenance for me to make it in life now that I'm a little older. When you get up in the morning and you're driving a 10-year-old car, you just get in it, crank it up, throw it in reverse and go. That's not healthy. Get in your car, turn your ignition on, give yourself the count of 10 before you turn the ignition all the way over. What that does is allows all the electronics to catch up, such as the electronic fuel pump, injections, things of that nature. Crank it up and then allow yourself a couple of minutes sitting in the driveway. There's no need to be in a hurry. That car's lasted you for 10 years. And if you want another 10 years out of it, you need to slow down a little bit with it. That is today's tech tip. Thank you for watching, and come see us at Gears.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here at Elliott Vocal Studios and Talent Agency, and I'm here with Megan Brown, who's a student here of Pamela Elliott. Megan, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Hi? What? What do I say? I'm sorry.
Say, you're welcome.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, Megan, I've heard you sing once before, and you've been taking lessons here for quite some time, haven't you?
Mm-hmm, a couple years.
A couple years, and is Pamela your instructor?
Yep.
And do you think you learned a lot from her, or were you just a natural talent?
I've learned a lot from her.
Yeah. Now, you're going to sing a little something for us today, aren't you, Megan? What are you going to sing?
Titanium.
Love that song. Okay, well, let's hear Megan Brown sing Titanium.
You shouted out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying much. I'm criticized, but all your bullets ricochet. You shoot me down, but I get up. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Fire away, you ricochet, you take your aim. Fire away, shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Cut me down, but it's you who has further to fall. Ghost town and haunted road. Raise your voice, sticks and stones may break my bones. I'm talking loud, not saying much. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Fire away, you ricochet, you take your aim. Fire away, shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. I am titanium. Stone heart, machine guns, firing at the ones who run. Stone heart, like bullets.